go to a commercial. Makes life easy. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What's up?
Hey,
We're live out here.
fooling around with the
This is
studio
not the
equipment.
Grind City podcast tapped in.
It is
This
not.
is us and me wiping off my camera, talking stuff at Grind City. What's up?
What's going on?
All right, so uh, we're in the testing phase of things,
Hmm.
but because we like to test stuff, uh, let's talk about it. Who are you? What do you do? Why are you here so late at night at Grind City? What are you doing here?
Team no sleep. I don't sleep. So what better way to pass the time that I'm not spending sleeping
Team
than working
no
in studio instead of working
sleep.
at home? Nothing to do.
Team no sleep,
Team no
y'all.
sleep. None.
Y'all heard her name. Carlissa. Correct.
Indeed.
All right. Team no sleep,
Team no
people. This
sleep.
is who we are. If you know anything about me, you know I don't sleep. They sleep me, but I don't sleep. So,
Right.
if you was a person out there wondering what Grind City does, what questions would you ask? I want us to say this. This is wrong. This is us talking stuff. What would you ask?
If it was me,
What was you?
so I guess more so than people sleeping on Grime City, I think people really more so sleep on you and what you bring to the imaginary table that everyone's so obsessed with.
The
The
imaginary
imaginary table.
table that everyone is so obsessed with. So what I'm coming to discover here is I think this collab cam picks up both of our sounds, I think. You think?
I was just wondering, like,
All
are
right,
we
you
too?
livers.
All right, baby. Have
I'll
a
see
good
you. Have a
night.
good
Good
night.
work.
Peace
Good
out.
work. That's good.
Well, that's kind of what we're trying to get to down here is them surprise pop-ins when you have a guest. Eh, that's the beauty of the media. You will see. Make it look good, sound good. That's what we do around here.
All right, mad at it. All right, have a good
All right,
night.
man. Be careful out there. I love you, man. Peace. Thank you. Sounds good, brother. I love it. All right, so let's talk some stuff. Miss Clarissa.
Carlisa, but go ahead.
See, I have to. That's her name is the car. I'm making up a new name for her because I be messing up people's names. I interview people like, now what you want me to call you? They're like, my name. Okay, how do you pronounce that? 'Cause I gotta. My wife tells me I has an accent. She said I have an accent, and I'm like, no, I don't. She said, yeah, you country.
Ain't that something? I get that too. They used to tear me up about stuff I say.
They think you. They say you country.
He tear my ass up. Say Syria. I'm like, Syria? He's like, why you say it like that?
Why you say it like that? That's the way you say it.
He's like, and what you eat your cereal in? And I'm like, about. He was like, why you say it like that?
A what?
About.
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 Yeah, that is kind of.
He used to tear.
Sorry, fam.
all day long.
That's kind of country, fam.
Tear my ass
I'm sorry.
up. Like, why you say this? Like, man.
Anyway, anywho, all right. So we up at 1 o'clock in the morning on a Monday, talking stuff in Grind City.
Indeed.
Playing with our toys with the classic JPB shirt on. This is where it all began. If you don't know about me,
JPB.
JPB, did a little bit of homework. So go. You get to ask me anything you want.
I don't think many people know how you got the name Buttons. So why don't you tell the people where Buttons came from? I think it's a cute story.
Well, I'm just going to tell the people to go to grindcity.biz and click on the button pusher who and watch the documentary, and it'll explain that to you. Next question.
From the beginning till now,
Uh-huh.
what are some of the highlights?
Wow.
Where the hell?
What happened?
Where we go?
I don't know. We just straight up just I don't know. Just
Okay, wait. You're back.
coming back.
I'm back, and
Check.
then there's a third me. I mean,
There's
there's
a
a
third
third
you.
skirt. Like what is
Wow,
happening?
what just happened?
I have no idea.
What's going on here? This is what occurs on live television.
This is how we get messed up. Okay, so I think I'm the problem.
I don't hear anything. Oh, your phone might have came on.
Oh, yeah, I think
Where'd
I
you
was the
go?
problem. I don't know.
Where am I at now? I don't know where I'm at. Let's go to commercial.
That's 100.
Did it even come back again? Will that help?
What does this have side?
Tap in, tap in. The Rock City Podcast. Tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in. The
It's
We
some
are
technical
back.
difficulties.
We're back. It's all good. You know,
We
this is
here.
when it occurs on live television. She hit the button, Mom. It wasn't me.
Now you're not on my
I
screen.
kind of
That's
like
crazy.
this angle interview, and I never interviewed this. This is kind of dope right here. Kind of. Anywho, she was asking me questions, so it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and she won't let me go to bed. So
I know the hell that's wrong. Don't blame that shit on me. Wow.
I'm not allowed to go home. She said I had to grind.
Like it being 10 steps that way. is what I'm trying to say. You were literally at home. I don't even know. You're literally.
I am literally at home.
You are literally at
I'm literally at home. Yeah. So, speak. Are you hungry? You got Nutella?
I know. I got me a little
Are you hungry?
snack. Yeah, you know.
Anywho,
From the beginning to present day, what were some of the highlights?
oh man, sheesh. I think one of the things that I really am always excited about is teaching.
Mm.
And when someone gets the lesson and that light bulb goes off, especially young people, and that light bulb goes off on their head and they got it, that's a huge highlight for me. That I was able to show somebody something or encourage somebody to do something that they might not have thought that they could do. And I'm like, sure, you can. And then they get it, and the light bulb goes off, and to see their excitement that they actually were able to do what they thought they couldn't do, and I had a part in that is amazing to me. That's one of the best feelings I've had my entire career is encouraging people.
Hmm.
Let's see. That one time when KRS-One came to Pittsburgh,
That's my favorite.
at and if you want to know why this is so significant, go to grindcity.biz and watch the Button Pusher Who documentary. Shameless plug.
Amen.
But that one time, KRS-One came to Pittsburgh, really. So, real quick, even though y'all should watch the documentary. Three times, KRS-One has impacted me. The very first time I seen a hip hop show live was KRS-One at the Coliseum. And I was like, wow. I don't know what that is, but I want to do that. He came back, when I was really early in my DJ career, and a friend of mine, Deshaun, got to host the show. Shout out to Deshaun. That's my dude. He stuttered real heavy until he rapped. Then he never stuttered. It was crazy.
Straightened out.
It was dope. It was seriously dope. And Karis was rocking the show, and I'm standing there looking at him like he's God himself. And he stops in the middle of his performance and he looks at me and he says, "Do not look at me in all what I do, you can do." Oh, it's almost
I know that's right. Tell me, I can do it because here I come.
And everybody think I'm crazy. He did not say that to you. You were tripping. Were you smoking something? No, he said it. But I ain't had no camera. This last time he came to Pittsburgh, um, it seemed like everybody in the universe is trying to keep me from meeting this guy. For whatever reason, I've tried everything to meet him, and I've been unable to do so. Excuse me. So I'm in the front row with my camera and my light, and holding the person that I was with at the time was holding the JPB card. And on the front of the card, it says jpbtv.com because that was my network. You know, that's my first network. You know, that's the first company. Then we moved over here to Grind City, just so y'all know.
So you got skin in the game, literally.
Yes, literally. Stupid, man. So he grabs the card and he reads JPB TV. Shout out to JPB TV. And on the back of the card, it says, "Can I get a 16?" Which is, you know, one of my series. So he proceeds to start rapping to my camera directly to me. Shut it down. And then he's like, "Yeah. And when you make your DVD, I want you to come back and give 20% to me." So, you know, Pittsburgh went crazy because, you know, they're like, "Ooh, okay, it's one dish, guys. Tony's charged for the footage." And then he finished this rhyme with saying, "This is freestyle. You own the copyrights. I'm not asking anything from you." Man, you talk about somebody's head going from here to here.
I would have did it to me.
Right? Because it was like at that point in my career where I had tried 4 or 5 different times. Every time he came to Pittsburgh to meet him. One time he came to the Shadow Lounge, and they didn't even tell me. I was sick because you know I'd have been there like front row. Like all these chances to meet this guy, and I was unable to meet him. And I just love the energy he brings to hip hop. He brings to hip hop and the truth that he brings to hip hop. So it had a profound impact on me and how I performed and how I wanted to use hip hop. And he does that for me. All these years later in my career, when my city was not being very supportive at the time anymore, and all these different things, for him to do that was like,
thank you.
and then let's see highlights. One time I had failed. I had knee surgery, and the Roots came to CMU, free concert, free concert. And I was like, I want to talk to Black Thought. I just want him to say JPB in my camera. So I got down there. My camera is this big. I still got this little camera. No light. It's pitch black. And I get down there, and he's walking off stage to do a break in the set. I said, "Black Dot." And he stopped and he walked over. He said, "Yeah, what's up?" I said, "I know you're busy, bro. I love you. Thank you so much. Can I get a JPB TV shout out?" And he gave it to me. And I still have that. It's in the documentary. If you go to Grind City, if you go to Grind City that big, watch the button pusheroo.
It's in there.
Another highlight was One Hood Media did a block party in East Liberty, and they brought Ciroc, the MC, to Pittsburgh. They brought Ciroc. They brought Wise Intelligent from Poor Righteous Teachers. And what is the other brother's name from Chicago? He's big now too. Brought him. I met D1. And Ciroc and Wise Intelligent did Can I Get a 16?
Oh my God.
Killed it. Oh, Ciroc ate it. I still push that thing. She killed it. I was like, what do you mean like you and I go? But those are highlights that are from names that people know. But the highlights that really stick out to me are like the Hip Hop Buffet series that I was able to put together a showcase in my city, in the middle of our city, and feed people really good home cooked food and rock out with them. No violence, no fights,
Mhm.
no guns. I had 70-year-old women at my all female hip hop showcase, and they stayed the entire show
That's
because they came to see their granddaughter perform. Like those types I had people with autism, younger people with autism, people with different developmental capabilities at my hip hop shows in the front row. No problem.
mhm.
Um, just being able to have provided those platforms at that time in our city is just amazing that we were able to do that. And I say we because anybody that had a part of it at that time know what I'm talking about. And
Mhm.
it was just fun. It was amazing. I brought the first awards to Pittsburgh hip hop. People don't know that. They talk about the Pittsburgh Hip Hop Awards and the Puma Awards. Well, people forget about the Hip Hop Buffet Series Awards. Those were the first hip hop awards in the city of Pittsburgh. People
Trend
don't know
setting.
about that. I got a trophy out there like that proved that. I had real trophies, stuff carved in them, not just a piece of plastic. Like
Mhm.
we believe in quality. So for the people who are able to be a part of that, um, and actually remember it, because you could be a part of something and take it for granted. And I think that's what happens to me a lot here. People just be like, oh, that's buttons. And it's like, bro, people wasn't doing what I do. They're still not doing what I do.
Yeah.
So, but I have a lot of great memories of what I was able to accomplish here. Uh, but I'm not done. And people want me to be done. I'm not done. I haven't even begun doing what it is that I'm really capable of doing because I had to learn some stuff. So
Yeah.
that's why we're sitting here at 1 o'clock in the morning so we can perfect stuff and get stuff right. I hope this is loud enough for y'all. Like sometimes you gotta be checking because I don't know. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty decent.
All right. Any more questions there?
Let's see. So I'm 99% sure that there was a time, or you are currently going into the hospitals and doing like music therapy and stuff with patients down at Children's Hospital. Is that something you're still doing? You've taken a break from, you're going to resume doing, or the sun has risen and set on that? And kudos to the next person
That's one of
who
those
wants to
highlights,
come
actually.
in.
That's one of those highlights. You know, so many. I'm surprised I didn't mention that. Bad for me. I work with a organization. I'm actually on the board of an organization called the Sunny Pugar Memorial. And what the Sunny Pugar Memorial does is they take music into healing places.
Mm,
I was the only hip hop artist to take music into these healing places, hospitals and nursing homes. Um, and people kind of thought that the hip hop was put your hands up, like I was
mhm,
going to perform, and that wasn't what it was. It was to teach them how important your theme song is. Everyone should have a theme song,
mhm,
no matter what. You need to have that inner song that reflects you to you
mhm,
to get up. Like I forgot my theme song today, and you reminded me of it earlier
mhm,
today. Like I was just beat up, and I forgot my theme song. So I would go teach that for when I was going into McKeesport behavioral health. I was teaching that to adults who kind of lost their way, lost their focus. But when I went into children's hospital, it was a whole different ballgame. It's babies who have an illness that's
mhm.
killing them or keeping them in the hospital, keeping them away from their families, and being able to see them smile through some music and then hearing what they're going through. Like
Yeah.
to the point, like it was getting so deep where they had to stop me from having different conversations because they were starting to really tell me some stuff that the doctor was like, "Whoa, you're
Wait a
not a
minute
therapist,"
now.
you
Now,
know.
hold
I'm
on.
not trying to be a therapist, but they feel comfortable with talking
But
to me.
music is
So
therapeutic.
pay attention so you know what to talk to them
Write
about.
this down.
So Sunny Pugor provided that opportunity for me. I am still on the board for that. I am not going back. to the hospitals anytime soon because COVID,
Yeah.
right? And the way that I did music is a little different than the way the other groups go. They use like instruments, they're instrumentalists, they're bands, they're singers. I talk a lot, so I'm real intimate. I'm real close to you, and that's too close
Yeah,
for the
for what's
COVID
going on.
protocol. So I won't be going back there anytime soon. Probably I'm kind of old now, so they ain't trying to hear nothing to say. But I do still very very much support them. Actually, the woman that runs that is one of our core writers, and Rafika. She writes for us at
Shout out
Grinders
to
Magazine.
Rafika.
Yes. So yeah, that's dope.
That's what's up. That's awesome, actually. On the flip side, you know.
The Buttons is being interviewed in her own spot by our staff. What do y'all know about that? What kind of boss move is that? What kind of is that? What y'all know? What y'all doing?
Got her in the hot seat.
Got me in a hot seat. The seat is literally red, y'all. Anything else? I'm open. I'm open book today until I'm not.
So you have been on a mission of expansion.
Yes, ma'am.
You have really been stepping out on faith.
Yes, ma'am.
To share with the people what these new lanes you are creating look like.
Yes, ma'am. Um, so I believe in us. I believe in regular people. I think everyone has something that's brilliant about them. Like your skill is kind of like mine, sort of, just 20 times more potent. Fearful. If you don't listen to her, she'll kick your ass. So you're a shit. Okay. Yes, I believe you. Yes, please. No, but you have a fantastic way of making people remember who they are when they're in your presence. So thank you very much for that. Because today I had truly forgotten. I was really beat up today mentally. I worked out hard this morning. I thought that was going to make me feel better. My wife worked me hard this morning, and I thought
Okay,
that
tell
was
all
gonna
your
make me
business.
feel
Let's-
better.
let's-
And I did feel good. I slept, but still, there was just that it's just a dynamic um, that's missing, and that's why people don't understand. Like having the right team is so dope, and I'm learning that because I've never had a team before. I've always done stuff by myself or the mate that I was with, and your mate is fantastic for what the mate does, right? And then your team is fantastic for what the team does. So one of my expansions is 1:30. Shut up in the AM. I don't want to hear it. If I ain't talking right. It's 1:30 in the morning. This one.
I'm not gonna play. I got here at like 7.
It ain't right. It ain't right.
That's funny.
All right. So one thing that you know is so powerful is being able to take different minds and put them on the same track and see if we can end up at the same destination. So that's one of my things now. I feel like I've taken myself as far as I can go by myself. I need some help. I've been saying that I need help for years, but I think I finally hit the wall that if I don't get some help, then I cannot continue to fulfill what it's going to take for this company to be $1 million, multi-million-dollar company. So um, I've gotten an in-house team, you, Brother Mash, Marcus, Nico. We're still looking to build and add to that team. We're looking for people to sell ad space for us in our media outlets, um, video and written. Um, we're looking for people who have some experience with media as far as camera work, both sides of media, written, camera, and sales. Then we've added uh, our media team in Texas. We have Houston, Homestead Slim is signed on with us. So his show is now a subdivision
Mhm.
of Grind City Media. We have Unique Woods, who is going to be doing some fantastic content creation for us down in Memphis. Then I'm talking to a friend of mine in Memphis who wants to bring back the Hip Hop Buffet series,
Hey.
rebranded down there. So we have some things bulling, and what I really trust that'll occur is that we can start opening up the doors of Grind City. I think he's ready now. Like I've been building him. He'll be 8 in March. So I've been building him for 8 years. So I've been really, really, you know, touch and go with opening up the doors here. It's my baby, So you got to respect my baby when you're here. Uh,
Absolutely.
but I think he's ready now, and he's less attitudinal because Grind City will cut up on you. If you ain't supposed to be here, he'll be like, "No, that mama ain't supposed to be up in here. I'm not working that camera. I'm just not gonna let it work." I'm like, "Dude, I don't like that mug. Put him out." The building does this, so you have to have the right energy to be here. You will be very uncomfortable here. Real
Mhm.
talk. It's just the energy that we've put in this building with our love, with painting these walls and building these walls. Like this wasn't some prefab place that you walked in and it's all glitzy. No, that's me up in the ceiling running the wire from the. Oh, that didn't work. I gotta run it back and come down. I'm little, so I'm climbing up, getting jacked up, got the fuzzy in my hair, all that. Putting this work into this building to try to get it to something that creates a memorable experience for people when they come here.
Mhm.
It's not the biggest, best, prettiest place. This is homegrown. This is dirt work here.
Sweat
Most
equity.
people won't even grind at their spots the way that I grind at this spot.
Mhm.
All the time, looking, adjusting, changing. They're like, Buzz, how many times could you move that damn stage? Well, I'm
300.
gonna move it to it feel right. Every time I come here, it's different. Ain't feel right. If it don't feel right, I'm gonna fix it. So just constantly um putting things together that I trust that I'll be able to see work. Like Open Media Monday, Tap In AM, Tap In PM, your show, new shows, Brother Man's doing what he's doing, the magazine, all these things that we're putting together. We got something else special coming for y'all next year. Trust. I ain't gonna say nothing on it now, but um, just know that we'll be a complete media very, very soon. My goal is to be able to touch all parts of media. We can do print media. We do that here. Uh, I'm not printing your shirts. Okay, I'm not going into the print business. But when it comes down to repping my brand, if I got to print my own shit, then I will. So that's where we're at. Just really trying to be a complete media with a complete media team. I have some goals. I can get the right teammates, we can get them accomplished, and everybody can eat. Because I'm really into making sure people eat.
Yeah.
And that's why I haven't had a team because I can't pay them. But now I have things where people can go out and create their own finance if they want to grind and get it. I'm gonna let you eat. So um, I'm gonna encourage you to go out there so you can eat. So that's what Grind City's about. Any other questions?
I got thousands. Let's
Let's
see.
go.
Let's crack the book. Let's see
She
what
got
we
the book. She done broke out. Mom! I know nobody's up at 1:30 in the morning watching this, so this is fantastic. No one's paying us any
This is
attention.
probably on grindcity.biz and that the button pusher who documentary. But
We're on grindcity.biz right now. We're live on Grind City TV Network. Roku right now. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn right now. So
Okay,
for those
LinkedIn.
people who are watching in those places, I salute you. This is the grimy underground late night talking shit little interview of me by Miss Carr over here. She's the call. Vroom, vroom.
the driving force.
That part. All right, what's up?
How did you come up with Grind City?
Woo! Great question. So, Grind City is really just an extension of JPB. So my first company, Just Pressing Buttons Production. If you want to know how I got that name, go to Grind City and watch the button pusher who will cost you $199 right now. So Just Pressing Buttons was really that. I didn't know what I was doing. I was pressing buttons. And what I found was by the end of me shooting that documentary, and that was the last JPB production, was that I learned that I pressed a lot of buttons, good, bad, um, but I pressed them on equipment, but I also pressed them in people.
Mm.
Um, and some people don't like them. No, I don't give a fuck. I don't. I can't. I can't care if I'm trying to inspire you and you don't want to be inspired. I'm not even trying to inspire you. People say I inspire them. That's beautiful if I do. If I don't, that's beautiful too. But don't get mad at me because that's the lane that I'm in.
That's the path I chose. You
Yeah,
can choose to run.
yeah. I mean, like, how you mad at me because I'm doing what my God told me to do? To the point where it frustrated me so bad, I was getting mad at myself. I thought I was doing something wrong, and it starts turning you to another person. I had to rebrand from that. And not only did I have to rebrand my company because I now had a better idea of what to do, I had to rebrand myself. So people still call me the button pusher, but I really go by CEO K Bay now because that's who I am now. The button pusher was a rapper, this raw energy, running around, causing a muck, just being who she was. But I'm older now. I'm 50 years old now. People forget that. You know what I'm saying? I'm 50. I'm not a child. Like quit playing with me. I'm still the button pusher, but that's not the personality that's at the front anymore. So Grind City, oh, it's a weird story. I did an experiment, probably about 10 years back on a game called IMVU.
I remember the
Right?
game.
So IMVU, I have a whole album out as The Grinder. And The Grinder was this smooth muscle chocolate dude with the cornrows, and he dressed in suits all the time. Like my ultra ego of it.
Okay,
I'm a Gemini.
Suave.
Like he was fly as
Okay,
shit. Milk
Suave.
chocolate ass dude.
My dad was
Woo!
a Suave
The
bowler.
Grinder, guys, he's that guy, right?
My dad was a
And so
Suave
I
bowler.
built a whole city called Grind City. And what I was testing was a few things. One, what makes people work?
Mhm.
What makes them want to come to work? I had a city like you would type in 15218 and like 50 chat rooms would pop up, and they
Mhm.
were all Grind City. And I would pay people to work my chat rooms. I wanted to test how well people work behind their disguise, behind their mask. Like I had my mask on as this guy, and as long as I was this guy, I was getting a lot of respect. When I took that mask off and they found out it was a woman,
He was like, "Tuh."
first they were like, "How in the fuck did you do that so well?" Well, I'm a Gemini, so. But the same thing that I applied as a male over here worked over here, but when I came and was just myself in my city, it was a problem. You can't be aggressive as a woman. You can't be this passionate about your business as a woman. You can't be this hard. You can't go this hard as a woman and not look sexual or not look pretty or not look all these things. All these things that were gets me over here in this world, I make cake. So I'm like, how do I put those two together? So I decided that if I ever got a building, I was going to name it Grind City because when you come here, you will be about your grind. This is not a chill spot.
Mm-mm.
There's no video games here, no pool tables. You're not smoking herbals in here. You're not getting drunk in here. You're going to
Mm-mm.
come, you're going to grind, and you're going to leave.
Mm.
Because that's what I do.
Mhm.
Whenever I'm in this building, I am working on something whenever I'm here. So that's how Brown City came to be, and here we are. We're sitting in it.
You mentioned about the ability to be one way as a man and another way as a woman. I'm gonna tell you right now, I fancy myself pretty damn cute.
Okay, well that's you.
I like, but hold on, but we understand. I once worked in a pretty male dominated field. In fact, if you check my resume, I spent a lot of time in male dominated fields.
Yeah.
And cute or ugly, there's an expectation of behavior if you have boobs
Oh
and a
yeah.
hoo ha.
And I've
There
had to
is an
experience that.
expectation
Yeah.
because
A hoo-ha, y'all. A
I was trying to
hoo-ha.
keep it clean because Facebook will
Hoo-ha.
penalize you for saying some crappy stuff. So when I was in the car industry, when I sold cars, I had got pregnant. I was pregnant with Shaka. God bless. Miss my baby.
Okay.
When I was pregnant with Shaka, that was a problem. Like, how you gonna work and be pregnant? Like,
I need money.
never mind the fact that I'm a black woman. So, name a time a black woman was allowed to sit and enjoy being pregnant.
Yeah.
These is asking
Yeah.
this question. It was offensive. Like,
Yeah.
you ask me
Yeah.
in this complexion.
Yeah.
How am I going to work and be pregnant? It was a problem.
Watch.
It was a problem. They were mad at me for that. In fact, I think I ended up getting let go from one of those dealerships because the doctor's appointment. They were like, if you call off again, like, and I had my time scheduled in advance, and they did. They ended up letting me go. You sue and win, so
I would have.
don't worry about that. You sue, you win,
Anywho.
And then I went into law enforcement, and I got in trouble in law enforcement for some of the dumbest shit, like going through a door first. Going through a door first. Like, she needs to learn her place. She needs to slow the fuck down.
Learn my place.
Learn my place. I needed to
Who's
slow
my
my place.
jail gentleman?
I guess I was
exactly
just
what my
supposed
place
to be seen and not heard. Act like a lady.
As a
So,
cop. How's the lady
wait.
cop supposed to act?
I wasn't allowed to. I remember one time we were having a conversation, and 2 weeks before this conversation, one of my partners, these kids were, it was around like 4th of July, and the kids were playing with fireworks. We were standing in one of the housing projects in the city, and the kids were playing, and the guy was working with, was like, cuss these kids out. You gonna have to play with us in the front. I'm fucking standing here. Blah, 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 blah. I went off on these kids. 2 weeks later, there's a group of us having a conversation, the only female in the circle. And there were some guys doing some other stuff, and they were had some making some, remarks about it. And I was like, from the background, was like, well, sometimes they don't understand violence. Sometimes violence is the answer. They only understand violence. I was joking, and they turned around like, see, that's your problem. That's your problem right there. You saying stuff. That's why you can't. And pissed me off because have you ever seen me first of all, raise my voice? Have you ever seen that? Well, no.
You're scary when you smile.
Have you ever seen me put my hands on somebody?
No.
Well, no. So why are we having this conversation? I said, first of all, I was joking.
Because you're a friendly bully.
You better shut your mouth. Hush. And I used to, because I've really had this reputation of like this overly aggressive person. And it's like, but no one can ever tell you anything they physically witness. These little rumors that go around and that circulate. But what have you ever seen? You witnessed me then.
I have never seen anything. I know
There's not many people that have. There's a
for
lot of
me,
rumors.
when I was putting my documentary together and I'm going through the footage, I was like, no wonder these people can't stand my ass. My mouth was horrible.
You definitely
My mouth was like off the chain.
unfilteredly speaking.
It was definitely unfiltered, but I don't even want to say but. At the time in this city and this industry, I had to be that way. I literally had to kick in the door, step on it with you under it, and jump up and down because I would not have been able to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish short of getting naked if I didn't do it that way.
Mhm.
And I just wasn't going to get naked. And I've had people tell me years later, oh, but it's the only problem Pittsburgh has with you is that you're gay. I'm like, wow. Wow. I said, that's y'all problem? Y'all still mad about that?
understand how.
I'm gonna need you to get
I
over
would
it.
never understand people's issue with that.
Well, it
I
wasn't
will
that.
never
It wasn't
understand
that
that.
I was gay and uh they had a problem with me being gay. They had a problem with me being gay and really being gay, not being gay and they can still touch it, tap it, da 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 da. You know, like you just don't stand a chance, and no, you really do not stand a chance. No, and it was almost maybe sort of type. So I've heard that a lot lately. And it was just like, wow, y'all been really burning my name and trying to stop me and all these things that you've been doing
Because you can't cop a feel.
because you can't copy.
Ain't that some bullshit? Well, I can't say I'm surprised.
I was
I
completely
can't.
surprised.
I can't.
I was
I'm not.
like, wow,
That
I didn't
doesn't
realize
shock me
how
at
many
all.
of you was attracted to me. But thank you.
Indeed.
I ain't know. I ain't know you was fooling me, bro. Not that I care, but I really didn't know. I really didn't know. I would have let you down easier. I don't know. What do you
No
want?
is no.
No,
In
it's
every
no.
language, it's no.
It's no. And I think it's really job that we have to say that and then reap the consequence of that because male energy still kind of runs industries, right? So if no is no, then all right, that's fine, but you're gonna pay hell for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrible. That's a
Mhm.
horrible precedence to keep on our women and our children that are coming up in that. It
I just
sucks.
had that conversation with my kids, talking, and my daughter's having these issues with this certain boy or whatever, and so we talked about the inability of the male species to accept rejection gracefully, and of course the boys were like, "What?" I said, "Men are killing women for saying no." A
Yeah.
girl I grew up with is
Yes.
dead
Yeah.
because she didn't want to
Because she
give a
said
man
no.
her phone number. A girl, I
Yeah.
watched a video where a girl wouldn't let a man at a bodega in New York pay for her stuff, and he assaulted her.
Yeah.
He physically assaulted her
Because she
because
told
she
him
said
no.
no, no, thank you. She wasn't rude. She wasn't nasty. She was really, like, no, no, thank you. I got it. I appreciate it, but no, thank you.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Yeah. 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 And that's exactly why I
after you.
had to be how I was. Because not only was I saying no to you, but I had to make sure to let you know don't even fucking try me when I'm telling you no. Because I will bust you in your fucking head. Like I had to be like that. So the no was a definite no.
Mhm.
And if you threaten me, I'm coming for you. So I had to
You
have
got to
that
deliver
whole attitude with my no. Hated it, but it was what I had to
that.
do
It was necessary.
because it was necessary, right? Because I'm gonna do my shows. I'm not gonna be scared of none of y'all
Look
dudes
at me
down here doing what
eggshell
I'm doing.
walking and tiptoeing.
Yeah, like I'm not walking on glass on you clown. So if y'all down here grabbing y'all's, then I got to grab mine. Let's get it. I mean, I take it out the drawer, put it on if that's what you need to feel.
I'm tired.
I don't want to be that, but that's what they kind of drew out of me, and I'm a very determined person when I know that I'm doing something good.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was doing something negative or hurtful, I probably have backed off because it's not necessary. It wasn't necessary. But I was doing something good for our scene and for people who just were not getting the opportunity to get on stage.
Mm-hmm.
No media coverage, no TV shows, nothing. You got this skill. You think you want to try to do it, and everybody that is in control of the scene is gone. No, you ain't down with us, and no, you can't perform. Well, I came in, well, like, sure, you can. Come on, get on TV, and I'm gonna put you on, and I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do. Who the fuck are you? I'm K Bay. I'm the button pusher. That's who I am. And I had to come like that. So now here I am, a little bit older, a little bit with a softer delivery, and they're like, we got you. And I'm going, no, you don't, because I got a team.
My team said no.
I'll let them do that. Now they pay.
They said no. They're not. They don't like it. We don't like that. Is you tired?
No, I'm not.
Is you sleep?
I slept all day. It's not actually.
Tired.
I'm not tired. It's just that I would technically be getting up in an hour. I get up
go
at
to the
3 o'clock in
gym.
the morning every day. So technically, I would be getting up, and it's Tuesday. I wouldn't be going to the gym, but I'll be getting up. So I'll be up moving around and just making sure my body knows it's cool to be up.
How's
Step
your
to about,
fitness journey going?
Oh my goodness. Uh Tough. You know, I feel great, but my body hurts.
I told you that you got it too.
I mean, my wife told me too. I do.
Have you used the hydro machine at your gym?
Do.
There's a hydro like massage machine your gym has. I'm
Yeah,
a
but
little
it don't hit the spots. Like I'm short, so it don't hit like where I got a massage in my bed too. Like yeah, we got a nice bed. And so I just go home
tell
and
all your
vibrate.
business. We are listening.
Yeah.
We are listening.
No, the bed is it adjusts and it got.
I have one. I
That's
don't
one
have the
thing.
vibrators.
Like,
in
I'm
it,
telling
but I have
y'all
one
right
too.
now on some real talk. If you don't invest in, and I didn't believe this until I did it. If you don't invest in one good thing in your life, buy yourself a good bed. Spend the money. Spend a few $1,000s on your bed.
I have an adjustable. Mine ain't got the vibrators.
Oh
I
man, my
have an
shit
adjustable.
vibrate
I
and
like it.
everything. It do all this crazy stuff. You get your back, your knee, the back of your neck, all. And I'm telling you, I haven't slept that good my entire life until I got this bed. Like
My dream is
you
just
really
saving up to buy
spend
the sleep
$2.
number
Get a
version.
good bed.
It's like $7,000 for the sleep number version and
Yeah,
the Grand King.
yeah. I ain't got that one, but
Well, buy
mine's
me
was like
something nice.
mine's was like 4,500. It was
The
it,
Grand
was,
King
it was
adjustable
not
sleep
cheap.
number.
But that's my next one, the sleep number. That's gonna be my last life bed. Like, get a good bed, man. Especially when you grind like we do, get a good bed. Because there's a difference between sleep and rest.
There definitely is.
You can close your eyes and sleep for 10 hours, but don't get to that second and third layer where you're actually getting rest. Or you can lay down and don't close your eyes at all, but get tons of rest. So today I got a combination of both. So my body's just like, oh, it's time for us to get up. That's why you see me yawning a lot because we weren't sleep. So we're up and they're like, what's up? My personality is like, what's good?
What are we doing?
coffee.
You're like, no.
What's up? We up? We up?
It's cloud.
So now we're ready to start a whole day now. And I'm ready to it's up. But I'm thoroughly enjoying this conversation. Thank you very much for everything today. Real talk. Thank you. What else? Shoot, you got thousands.
I do. I got.
Let's go.
Crack the one.
Let's go. Let's go.
Shall we?
Everything you want to know. Anything you want to know, ask the buttons.
Let's talk about. We talked a little bit earlier about peaks and valleys. So we talked about your most memorable moments. So those are your highs. What are some of your lows in your journey? That's outside of feeling a little bit unthanked and taken for granted.
Losing young people. My babies. Losing my babies. Every time I touch a microphone, I want them to know that I love them. And when I lose them, losing these babies, man, these babies. They're babies. They're next. They're everything. They're everything. They're everything. They're like, why do you stay in Pittsburgh? That's a question I get a lot. Why do I stay here? I used to volunteer at Shima Center. And then I taught there. I taught my own program. I wrote there. And that was 15, 20 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. My goodness. And a couple of years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I was washing my car. And I see this young man. He looked scary as hell, bro. I was like, oh, God. I'm getting old because now, when you get old, you look at young people a little bit different. You get a little bit different. And so I'm, washing my car, but I'm watching because you got to be vigilant now. I don't give it. It's not about stereotyping now. My buckets is off the chain now, so you got to watch. and he walks over to you. You don't remember me. Oh, please let me remember this kid, cause but I remember you, and you changed my life. I said, can you say that on camera for me?
Right?
No, seriously, because I keep that with me. People say that they say that to me a lot, but it's a whisper. He said, yeah, I said it. Put it on the Facebook Live. He said, you might not remember me, but I remember you. You came to shoot me. And all you did was tell us we could be somebody. We can do something. And I believed you. And now I got my own business.
Hey.
He said, I went to jail for 5 years for nothing. But I still came out and I'm doing right and I don't sell drugs and I don't. Yes. You're powerful. You're the reason why I live and breathe. Young people.
Mm-hmm.
So why do I stay in Pittsburgh? Because that young man, there's a lot more of those young men. And when they run into me, I get to say, I told y'all you can do it. Yeah, I'll show you. Or maybe you're in media so you can come work with me. Or maybe you need media so I can help you.
Mm-hmm.
If I leave them, if I leave, then I've done what everyone else that became successful did in our field. They get paid and they leave. So now they killing them before they can even leave. When you get signed, it's like a death sentence in Pittsburgh. They shoot at you before you can leave. So I stayed to show them you have to dream and you have to go get it.
Mm.
And if you do, sooner or later, 28 years later, you might get your team. But babies, losing my babies. Uh, Man, like people don't know about me. My energy, my ability to see and the way that I absorb energy is different than most people. I'm not like normal people. So I used to literally absorb when a young person died. I could feel it. I had to detach. I had to detach because it was really hurting my spirit. It was really really hurting me. So I had to learn how to stay close but detached.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a painful thing for me. Is when I see these babies get hurt or kill each other, I take that shit personally, and I had to stop. I had to stop taking it personally because it was hurting me. I had a tumor removed last year from holding so much pain in my body,
Mm-hmm.
absorbing so much of that energy from different things, but it just grew into this monster in my body. It almost killed me last year. I didn't know all this pain. I walk around normal. I didn't even know this was in my body. So yeah, I think that would be my low place.
I can dig it.
Yeah, I bet.
I can totally
Yeah,
dig it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like real talk, like your husband and your son.
Mm-hmm.
I've been your husband's life since he came out.
Mm-hmm.
That was more than my little cousin. Like it's like my little mini son for a long time. For
Mm-hmm.
the first 5, 6 years of his life, I was there every single day. Little Jeff and David's life. Every single day I was there. I was at their house every day. Um, in shock, man. Like that broke my soul. I didn't know what the heck. What? What are you talking about? I didn't know.
People are still now are that information is still just now freshly reaching other people. I get inboxes often like, I hate that I just found that out, or I just seen, I
Man,
just
like I
now.
was
What the F
done.
is going on? What is happening? And I'm like,
I was when you I was just like I remember trying to get him to smile that day and he
does
just
it on
would
purpose.
not do it and then I finally got him to do it and I was like snap.
It was a challenge.
Yes,
The fact that you
always.
wanted it, he was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
what you want?
Yeah. If he knew what you wanted, he would purposely not
Purposely.
give it to you. You gonna work
Oh,
for
you
it.
gonna,
You gonna work for it. You
sweat
want me to
for it.
smile,
Let me
you
tell
gonna,
you.
and he made me work that day all damn day to get that damn picture. And I finally got it. I said, put this damn balloon up. Clap. Cool
He's a
kids.
silly
Like,
cat, boy. He was something, the best little human being. That was my war baby. We had been through so much. Literally, almost all my traumas. That me and that kid.
Yeah.
That was not.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I got one of those.
That's my war baby, man.
Uh,
We went through a lot
how are you
together.
doing, man? Like, how are you doing?
Mm, I don't know. I have so for me, I never felt like I had the right to grieve for a number of reasons. One, to feel like I'm competing for grief. Like that's my kid. Like I gave birth to him. Like I have the scars on my body to prove the life, that I brought into this world. The man I created that child with left me with a permanently broken shoulder. Like if you stick there's separation here. Like these two things are not attached the way they're supposed to be. And when I'm like, I don't want this or I don't want that, well, he was mine too. I miss him too. Well, I love him too. Well, he's my this or he's my that. It was like, oh, or better yet, the funeral. I don't wish to share my space, my energy with certain entities and certain people. And yet, even in that moment, I didn't have a right to say no.
Wow.
You're determined to force these entities on me,
When I'm
and
hurt.
you know how I feel.
Wow.
And in addition to you inviting these, people want to hug you and they want to touch you. So I'm stuck in this assembly line of energy I want nothing to do with.
Wow.
And kudos to the people who got it and who stood beside me and never left my side, like my cousin Rhonda, my husband, my Aunt Faye, who stood in that assembly line and held on to me. And when those energies came and went, whispering to me, I'm so proud of you. Kudos, you go, girl, because we know. Because I'll rearrange the furniture in here, and I let it slide. But again, constantly dropping the rope for someone else's.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I don't feel like I still to this day don't feel like I have the right to feel as it pertains to those losses. Losing my husband again, he was my husband. That was my life. Like, what I'm saying? Every day of his life, once he wore me down that we were in fact in a relationship. Because that took a while. I was like, I'm not your girlfriend. Not your girlfriend. So you're my girlfriend. So you're my girl. Not your girlfriend. You need to stop telling people I'm your girlfriend. Definitely not.
He was definitely that dude.
Definitely not your girlfriend. So you're my girlfriend. Yeah, that's what it is. Like,
That's just what it is.
So best man I've ever. I don't think I could ever be loved like that again. Even when it was wrong, it was right. You understand what I'm saying? Our bad times were good times.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, and to lose him again, like, my someone wrote the obituary, and we don't use the word step. Like, I'm so anti-step parent. Like, I'm not a step nothing. I'm a bonus to them, and they're a bonus to me. I call my bonus baby my bonus babies. He called his bonus, his kids.
Yeah.
He didn't need no prefixes and no suffixes
This is his
for
kid.
these kids. You know what I mean? So them was his kids. So someone took the reins on writing the obituary, and I feel in a purposeful hit at me. Put and stepchildren,
Wow.
and even when I try to address it as peacefully as I like, oh my God, I can't believe you actually put. And they're like, well, you know how I am. I'm all about XYZ. See what I'm saying? So again, how you feel trumps how I feel. So why feel? I never feel entitled to my feelings.
Well, I'm here to tell you that you are entitled to your feelings, and you need to feel them, and you need a safe place to feel good, and you don't have
Well, thank you.
one. Whenever you want
I appreciate
to,
that.
you
Thank
need to
you.
come here and scream at the top of your lungs. Come scream. We have a whole mic. It won't say nothing back to you.
It's a
But
gift
let's just
back.
scream at it. I think it's necessary, um, and I tell you this in private and on here. You have to grieve. This is a normal process, and it will come. And whenever it does, I'll be here for you.
I
That's my word.
appreciate that. Thank you.
I'll be here. Until then, I'll be driving you crazy as your teammate in this country. Any other questions you got for me? Because we got all night
You
here.
got it all.
It's
You know,
been
I
the
ain't
morning.
got nothing to do.
I need coffee in a minute. I like coffee. My
So you built this exceptionally amazing studio.
favorite. We're
It
getting there.
music, video, audio, print, media. We're only missing one, radio. But we'll get there. We'll get there. But tonight, you have since kind of moved away from producing music
Yeah.
and you have sublet
Yes.
your music studio
Yes.
to a new entity
Yes.
who is working very hard.
He's driving me crazy.
Would you like to share with the people?
Yes, Mr. Brotherman. So, Man Made Studios is a subdivision of Grand City Media now. Um, I've been watching this young man. I mean, when I first started doing music, I spent a lot of time by myself. I still do. Um, but I had got to a point where I was bringing young people in my house to make music so they wouldn't be on the corner. And this little lady I've known since I was born, named Kim Ill, caught one of that. And at the time, she was doing some work with a group of people. Then they called themselves Entertainment Live, and she interviewed me. And after she interviewed me, they asked me to spit these bars, and I started rapping, and that's really how my name got kind of like solidified with, especially elders. Well, all these years later, this young man is her nephew.
Mm.
And I felt like I was watching him grow and seeing his frustrations of trying to have his own studio and going back home and getting out here. And I'm like, when you start looking at all the things that you're capable of doing compared to all the things that you're really going to do, you have to make some decisions. Yes, I have a music studio here, and it could have stayed there, no problem. I still have it. It's just cramped back there with the rest of my stuff. But am I going to realistically sit down and record somebody's album at this stage in my career? No, I'm not. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not vested in it. I've never really been. Well, that's a lie. I can't say that because I've recorded quite a few albums as JPB. But when I seen how artists grind or lack of was, it really turned me off. And I knew that I wasn't going to be a rapper. Like I can rap, but that wasn't my focus. So I started thinking about this building, this place, um, the possibility of opening it up, and um, who can I share it with? And there was a couple people that I kind of courted. I had a one gentleman in mind. I really liked this young man, but when I was talking to him about it, the opportunity for me to come be director of media education came up, um, and it was like that opportunity was good for what I had built for as far as a career in teaching. And I didn't know the young man well enough to just say, "Oh yeah, here's keys to my whole spot." Like I don't know you at all, so I had to delay that, and he didn't take that very well. He felt very disappointed, which he was allowed to feel that way. Um, but people got to understand, like some people have the ability and the resources to have a building and have a club and just give it to you and let you do whatever you want with it. and some of us don't. Some of us, when we allow you into our space, this is all we got. This is all I got. I worked hard to get here. So I can't just give it access to anybody. So when I started to look at possibility for what can occur here, what energy that I wanted to have here, and who I could trust enough that even if I got mad at him, I could still keep him here. He was the first one that came to mind. He's a good young man. He's a great rapport with people. He's a great energy. Um, he's a young man, so he drives me crazy. But that's their process, and we have to allow them space to go through their process. So I'm growing, I'm learning with him as he's growing and learning with me. But what I like about him is if you tell him he messing up, he receives it and he tries to fix it as soon as he can, as best as he can. Um, and I think at some point he won't mess up anymore. You just got to let him know what he's doing. You have to talk to young people. You have to say, I have expectations and I expect you to rise to them because I know you can.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to give them the opportunity to do that.
Yes.
Right. And I think what had been occurring was we say, we have these expectations and I expect you to rise to it. Do it now.
Yeah, you never give them the space
You
to
gotta
meet
give them the space to do
right,
it.
for growth.
And with us being in this situation with our young people that were a little afraid that they're running out of time because they die so quickly now, you try to hurry up and get them there. And you can't. Their process is their process. So you have to say, here's the time frame I need you to develop this skill. And then here's the time frame that I need you to develop this skill. Now, if you start letting those time frames run too close together, you got a lot of growing to do in a very short period of time. But you can do it, and I expect you to do it because you can, and I need you to. I need you to do it. So he's rising to them at the rate that he can, and I think that he'll be fine. Um, and plus, he makes dope, very dope music. Um,
If you were privileged enough to see our earlier live,
yes, if you've seen our live
then you
earlier
know
today, we was messing with stuff.
that
That part,
the man is very talented.
very talented.
You got to see a little sample
And
of what
then
he has to
on
offer.
top of that, he's smart. He's a teacher. He's an educator. He deals with young people. Everything about this young man is an alignment of
Mhm.
what I've been doing in my
Mhm.
career, and that's very important to me. And that is a reason that will make me want to keep making sure I push him to excel and meet those expectations because he's in alignment with the
Mhm.
energy that I have. So you have a little bit more patience with someone who's in alignment of what you're doing compared to someone who's completely out of alignment and not willing to get into alignment. Your patience dwindles for that. So we opened it up for him to make his money, make it bread, bro. And that's what he's doing. He's hustling. He's in here every day.
He grinding.
He's grinding. He's grinding it out. And then we want to expand the network. Um, we're January 1st. We will be announcing the fact that we're streaming independent films on our networks now. Some of them are featured that you can pay per view them. Some of them are free, and some of them come with the Black Platinum membership on GrindCity.biz. So, in order for me to go that way, it didn't make sense to have empty space in here. We must maximize our possibilities in our space. It just didn't make sense to have a whole studio up there that no one is using.
Well, kudos to you for being willing to share your toys, or at least the space your toys are housed in.
Yeah, yeah, that part. 'Cause you don't get to touch my shit.
Kudos to you. I'm very proud of you. That is very evolutionary.
Yeah, for me, yes. Yeah. But just wanting to make sure the young people understand the value in themselves and their possibilities and the value in what came before them.
Mhm.
Like we have to remind them to look at what came before them.
Respect the
Not the
history.
only thing. Yeah, short history and long history.
Respect
You
the
have to
history.
know what came before you. You can't know Martin Luther King and then you. There's a whole bunch of stuff in between there, fam. Little and big. So, yeah. You sleepy yet?
No.
Am I wearing you out?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
I'm
next
cold.
question.
It's not. I'm
Are
not.
you cold? You want me to turn on Ron's ear? You know you're gonna blow our head off.
I'm over here like.
Yeah, I'm freezing too. He about to blow our face off. We're gonna go to commercial break.
Try not to
We'll be right
shiver too
back.
hard.
Now y'all gonna hear the heat, but it's all right. You just remember the Grind City and download the app. We gotta remember to turn that mic off. Now, welcome to Ron's Earland. If y'all hear all that noise back there, that is Ron's ear, the heater. He gonna blow your face off. He don't care. Look at it. iTunes done opened up. I don't want to listen to iTunes. No. All right.
And we back.
And we back. We been back. All right. She's still asking me questions, Mom. It's like the grill off of my life. What's going on?
So if you've been listening and paying attention, you've heard mentioned quite a few times that we have grindcity.biz. If you have not checked us out, do so. Log in, sign up. Signing up is free. However, in the spirit of love and support
In that whole
and
spirit,
holiday cheer,
the holiday.
go on and subscribe and get that $2.99 subscription. You can afford $3.20. You can afford that $2.99. If you can afford a pack of squares,
What?
if you can afford
Support us.
AFI, I don't even know what that is. I
Oh,
just
you
hear
don't
it
even
said
know.
all the
You
time.
talking stuff. You don't even know what you're talking about. You just talking.
You can afford that $2.99 to support Black business, Black excellence, Black growth, Black promotion.
What's good?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I did it. You can do it too.
We talking that good stuff. Early AM tapping in. She's asking me questions and I am answering them from Brown City Live. Next questions, Miss Driver's Seat, Miss Car. Bring me coffee.
Some people may know, some people that may not know you are a mother.
I am a mother.
And you are also a grandma.
I am. I have a grandman. He's 4.
Just had a birthday.
He just had a birthday. He's 4.
Did y'all have fun celebrating baby birthday?
Boy pays me absolutely no mind. I come in there. I take him his book because he loves to read. He absolutely loves to read. He knows all his planets. So I bought him a book of planets. I said, "Hey, Grandma, oh, planets!" And went back to doing what he was doing. That's what I get.
You know,
That's my guy, man.
that's kids for you
My
in
son is
general.
a
You go
great
through all that
father.
stuff by himself and they play with the box. Like,
But it was so crazy because they took him to Chuck E. Cheese later that day. I was supposed to go with him, but nobody told me the time. And it was like, listen, I'm old. They took him to Chuck E. Cheese and they sent me the picture because he got the book. Everywhere he went, he took this damn book. I got a one that he could just grip. He got
winner,
his
winner.
Yeah, my grandma, Mimi bought me this book. It's my book. And,
That's what's up. You did good.
my son
Mimi.
is like the greatest father. Like, I'm so amazed watching him be a father, right? I used to be one of those females that would have that Facebook debate every year. A woman can't raise a man. Yes, she can. I was her. Absolutely. Happy Father's Day on happy, that
Not
shit.
happy father.
Father's Day, you'd be like, Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day to all the mothers. I used to be that chick. And until I see my son with his son. And I was like, wow. I raised a great person, but I didn't raise a man. He had to figure that out because he didn't have a man around. You talk about hurt. I hurt to admit that. I hurt. Oh man, I hurt. It hurt. It's like I could do anything. Sure can, but I can't raise a man. Cannot raise a man by myself. I could raise a great person. I could raise one that will go out and figure out what it is to be a man. He will research it. He will actively pursue looking how to be a man, and he will look for men. And he could, but I could not raise a man. Man, I didn't realize that until I see my son with his son. The difference of how he holds him or talks to him and treats him is so different from me. I'm all this emotion, and I have an emotional son. And I did my back is itching, so don't see me twitching over here. When you get old, your back itch, and you just gotta rub it on stuff. That's what you do when you laugh on TV and you can't scratch your own back. You rub it on stuff. Anywho, but watching him nurture not only his son, but the bonus babies. I have two bonus babies. Now, Cherish looks exactly like me. My chocolate baby, she looks exactly like me. I'm like, how is this not your child? Well, Mom, she was already born well before I met her mother. Oh!
We spend enough time with somebody.
But this little girl looks exactly like me. And then Chase is like the light skinned version of me. But Charlie, that's my grandman. And one thing I love about the whole situation is my grandman has no idea what it's like to wake up without seeing his mother and father every day. That's his norm. He's 4. That's his norm. So that's a generational curse broken. Right? He has siblings. My son did not have siblings. He's the only child. So my grandman gets to know what that's like, and my son gets to guide him through that. My son always wanted siblings. And I was like, it's just not going to get those
Out here.
for Christmas, baby. Not going to happen.
Just a cousin.
I did my one shoot and poop, and that's it. That's all you getting out of me. I was like, who is your baby today? I got to know. I'm like, you'll never know. But
Jesus.
no, I'm so happy that I had a child. I think that every woman should experience pregnancy. I don't know what kind of woman you are. If you can carry a child, you should. People get it all twisted when they look at me with their little stereotypes. Let me learn you, folks. I am a woman. I'm a beautiful woman. I am a mother, and I'm so proud of it. I do not want to be a man. I have no desire to be a man. But if you fuck with me, you will see my male side very, very quickly. He is there, and he is relevant. He's been very relevant in my life. Are we clear? Great toe. Let's move on. So tired of answering that.
You
So
talked about the inability as a mom to raise. I mean, I'm dealing with that right now.
it is so.
And I'm trying so hard to give that boy a strong male. It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard. It's
It's
like the
hard because
ones that exist don't want to deal with your child because it's not their child, or they want you and not
nobody checking for me.
helping.
That's not my
Like
problem
it's
right
this whole thing. It's this whole thing with trying to get men to help single parent females
now. That is really my thing.
without an expectation.
I'm definitely well. Again, I don't think nobody's checking for me in that way. So that's not.
I don't know why I had those on. I guess they were
You
they were like
for your
earmuffs.
sound check. 'Cause
I know, and I
yours
just
sound
kept them on.
like-
Yeah.
But I wanted so much for him to have sensible male role models.
Yeah.
And I don't immediately have that. So I've tried to get creative for how I provided him with that. So I sent him to an all male school, black operated, black erected, called Life Male STEAM Academy. And I am thankful to that school. It's not without its school issues, but I am thankful for that building because went to them in the summer. I went last school year to talk to the head of school about bringing him. I know the head of school for years. He was Shaka's mentor, so we have a relationship in that with respect to that. So I wanted to be able to trust him with my son who was already struggling with the public school life.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's very much a private school kid. Like Kevin Hart talking about something. Let me get my flops. That's very much myself. Very much. Do you know what I mean? Like, so he, I talked to them about bringing him there, went through the enrollment process, and then met with the school in the summer because I needed them to know what they were getting. You're not getting this rambunctious, all boys will be boys type of boy. You know, my son hates horseplay. Like, don't touch me.
Touch me. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
gone. You know what I mean? Like, if he have to, like with his brothers or his older sister, there's no choice there. So he tolerates it with respect to that, but he's not gonna just wrestle with you in the dirt. Like, my son want to wear suits and ties every day. Yes, he's
He's a
absolutely
gentleman.
not. Yes, very much loves his suits, loves his ties, loves his bow ties. You know, although I wish he was a little bit more confident in what he likes,
Look at that.
because he allows people to discourage him.
How old is he?
I like that.
Oh, look at
It
that.
allows people to
Well,
discourage him.
he's a
I'm like,
distinguished
so?
man already. And then once he really discovers what he likes, what's his son?
Gemini.
He'll get there.
Gemini.
He'll be fine. Old shady pants will be fine.
Oh,
And the
wow.
reason why I think that Mel Gemini's or something.
I know.
I have one in
Louis
my
a
head.
Gemini.
Yeah. But once he likes what he likes, it'll change a lot because that's who we are. We have 15 people in our heads to please. So it's not that he's changing; it's that he's put the hat on each and every one of them. So he might, if somebody's discouraged in one, the other one's going. But we like that. So the next week you might see that just with somebody discouraged. Leave him alone; he'll be fine. We're weirdos. We're
I
definitely
just really want him to have because that's fencing. So like I said, my son's very much unorthodox. He's not the football kid. You know what I mean? I could be out here. Cause he talked was like, "Mom, I want to try football." I like the shit into. I'm like, and then he so there was time to take. I was like, "You really gonna do it?" He was like, "No."
Take me over here to nine.
I mean, I'll try
He
golf.
is a ladies' man, is what you have. He is a distinguished gentleman, and he's probably going to be a low key pimp. You better watch it.
I ain't mad. I ain't allowed to touch doors when he's around.
Oh yeah,
And I'm like so proud of how you are turning out. That he's gonna be such a gentleman.
yeah,
But I want him to be.
yeah. He's gonna be a nice ass chimp. Don't get it twisted. He got a little hood in it. Don't get it twisted. He's gonna be a nice ass pimp. They all gonna love him. They gonna be buying rose voices and everything.
I'm tired. Oh Lord, I do. I want him to because right now the most solid masculine entity in his life is my god sister. Yeah, yeah, it's
Oh well, yeah, well, yeah, yeah,
she's the most.
yeah. Yeah, it's true.
She's unapologetically and shows up without question. I don't even have to ask twice. I call her, she answers. I'm like, he needs. I'm on my way. No, don't.
Like,
I'm picking. Don't worry about. It. I'm getting it from. But he still needs.
yeah,
Needs.
she's still not a man.
So, no, and that's what I tell these guys. I was like, listen, if it was that, like, I'm following on the sword of his mom, acknowledging, that my son needs a man in life. And it's like, well, what about? Listen to what I just. If those options were available, you think I'd be talking to you?
When my son was 9, 10, all the way to now, I would go to like the community organizations and say, what do you have in place for young people doing this and that? I have a son.
Right.
I don't know what it's like to be a son. Shit, I barely know what it's like to be a daughter, to be honest with you. I was screwed up from a kid. I've been screwed up. I need your help. And I was getting such disappointment from the answers that I was receiving that they kind of make you have to do it on your own and then criticize you when you do. And so that was my whole attitude behind, Mother can raise him. And he said something to me the other day. I told him, happy birthday to you. Your son is 42. Like, that's neat for you.
Okay.
We haven't been here before with this part better job than my dad. He said, I do it for you because you did raise it. Son doesn't say mushy shit often. So when you get freaking weirdos, weirdo down there, you're the happiest couple I ever met in my life. So I'm waiting on you to stab me once because, you're a weirdo. Y'all are some weird, strange folks. I'm sorry, you're just weirdos. Yeah, I love y'all, but y'all weirdos. So me and my dad are Geminis, and my son and my mother are Scorpios. Anywho. But he said that to me the other day, and it was just like, wow.
I always hate that conversation. Like, oh, well, women can't. There's always a women that. My whole thing is, well, what if you don't have a choice?
Strange folks, I'm sorry, you're just weirdos. Yeah, I love y'all, but y'all weirdos. So me and my dad are Geminis, and my son and my mother are Scorpios. Whoa, anywho. But he said that to me the other day, and it was just like, wow.
I always hate that conversation. Well, women can't. There's always a women that. My whole thing is, well, what if we don't have a choice?
And that was my
We never
argument.
talk about what you do. Won't have choice. I literally survive. He's still emotionally mentally because I'm like living off of your dignity. I can tell by drinking so because he did his freaks and realize it. You know what I'm saying? That he's like earth's core. Then my beat down. And when I try to break up, I don't fix it.
Yeah, my son just got one someone, and his mom said, "There's nothing to listen." And my son can't make him, and but he wants to know good. And that was my
Never talk about a choice. Being that I've already lost one, that is literally concern. I like literally about the way he carries his shoulders.
At the end of the day, I just keep listening. I just listen. When I stop listening, doesn't talk to me. I listen. And I think, knowing that, just drive them off some for us. Just talk. And then we done talking, make his names. You go better. Yes. Okay, I do. That's the hard with us mothers. You think we're supposed to survive. You will lose that every time. And I'm telling you, again, my son is 30 years old. He's 31. And still wanting to fix what ails him all of the time. And I can't. And when I realized I couldn't, I call my brother like David. I don't. What's what is this? Is this a phase in your life? Or what? And he's like, yeah. Sometimes we go through this, and you just gotta watch him, and you have to listen. And thank God for my brother. Like real talk. Like my brother has not always been the best brother, but he's a great father. My brother's a great father. I don't know. My son and my brother, great. I don't know. My son and my brother, great. And my other brother, my dad's other brother,
Sometimes you become
which you wish you had.
and I'm definitely that mom. That
Yes.
drives my parents crazy because they want me to like just let
My other brother, my dad's other brother,
sometimes you become what you wish
which
you
you
had.
wish you had.
And I'm definitely that mom.
Yes.
That drives my parents crazy because they want me to like just
Let stuff just
like
be.
I'm super protective over
No,
my kids.
we're not doing that.
Like my mom hates it. She's like, you are crippling them by absolutely
Don't
not.
let me know where they feel safe enough.
Absolutely the hell not. Especially listen, I ain't trying to talk shit on my parents.
Don't let me know where they feel safe enough.
Absolutely the hell not. Especially I ain't trying to talk shit on my parents. I tell them what was appropriate for you with yours
It's not
is
necessarily
definitely not going to be
won't work
appropriate
over
with me
here.
and mine. It's
Yeah,
just not. It's
know,
not. So the answer is no.
we have to.
I'm gonna protect mine with the
This is
death of me every day.
one thing that we always talking about breaking generational curses, right? And what we have to realize is the role that we play in those curses,
Mm-hmm.
the role our parents played in those curses, right? Um, if you want to break something, sometimes you have to tell the source that's what you're going to do. And people don't understand what I say when I mean that. Um, I love my mom. My mom's great people. My mom used to be a little negative a lot, and it was like, listen, I love you, but I can't deal with your negativity. I need you to fix that. She didn't even realize that that's what she was being.
But was she
Right?
willing to fix it?
At first, she didn't realize that that's what she was willing to be. So what I had to do was show her my light. And at first she rejected it because she's like, the fuck are you saying? You better than that type of thing. And I had to say, listen, if you want to be in my life, I need you to elevate. Because when you've been through so much stuff, you forget how to get back up. We always talking about the SWOT analysis, right?
Mm.
And one thing that I realized with the SWOT analysis is that when that first one, that strength, we always talk about that strength, how it applies to other people, right?
My whole life is other people.
But dig the move. What I learned about the SWOT analysis once I did mine was the last one, the T, the threat. It's only one. That's you. The other two depend on where you apply your strengths. If you apply your strength to other people, your opportunities decrease. And that threat, that me, that's you. If you apply your strengths to yourselves, that weakness, those that list starts to get crossed off and your opportunities increase. And the T goes away. You are no longer your own threats. So when I did that, and shout out to Unique One, Real Talk, for telling me about this. It never crossed my path before. But when I did that, I was like, we put so much stock and energy into how strong we are for others that we strip it from ourselves. We forget that we're that strong for ourselves because we're so busy giving it to other people. It's time for us to be a little bit more selfish. Because if you're allowed to be selfish, my good people, you're allowed to be selfish. That is not a bad thing. Selfish means you're working on yourself. So when you finally decide to be a little selfless, you're not defeated, broken, and drained because you done gave everything you had left to everyone else and you have not rejuvenated. So to get to the beginning of this conversation to now, the beginning of this conversation, you were asking about my triumphs and my highs and my lows. And one of my triumphs is learning that. You know what, Buzz? You do not have to give these people no more. They're draining you. They're using you. And you're saying it, but when you say it, you're so depleted. It sounds like you are a bitch. Instead of saying, you know what? I ain't gonna say it. Ain't gonna do that. Take a little bit of that. Get that from me. Let me do this.
You ready? We fall back.
Let me do this.
We fall all the way.
I see you. Put my finger in. Because without that, I'm nothing. I need that breath.
Mm-hmm.
So we start appreciating those breaths a little bit. Take them a little bit longer, a little bit slow. You start realizing the longer I'm taking to enjoy my breath, the less time I have to give to you to take away from me. So if I'm enjoying my breath more, that's making me stronger. It's making your complaint, your problem, your heavy less important to me. Now I'll deal with it when I can, but it can't always be a priority because if I'm not breathing, I can't help your ass. So let me do this. Let me just breathe, and I'm gonna breathe a little bit longer, with just me, and I'm gonna thank my God for that breath. And if He says, "All right, it's time for you to go help now," then I'm going to gladly go do that. But if He says, "You just keep sitting there and you just keep enjoying the breath because you earned that," then that's what I'm going to do. And that's the difference between button pusher and K-Bang. Button pusher wanted to help everybody. Pressure buttons, motivate you, get you going, get you up, get you moving. Make sure you know you can do it. No, we can all do it. Nobody give a fuck if I could do it. It was let me touch you, let me get a hug, let me feel your energy. Zap you from all of that light. Give me your light and give me nothing back but darkness. Where I'm struggling to breathe. I had a tumor that was so big, it was crushing on my lungs, my bladder, my back, my bowels. I'm struggling to breathe. I'm not sorry.
Shit, I'm apologies.
I used to apologize all the time. Remember, I
I
took
do that
5 minutes
too.
for myself.
They be hated that about me. He would be telling me, "Oh, I'm so frustrated because I'm like, well, I'm sorry." He's like, "The fuck are you sorry for?" I'm like, oh, "I'm sorry that you're going through that." He's like,
No, I got it. I can handle it.
I have to be mad at that. He's like, "No,
No.
no, stop saying that."
And stop
I'm
taking on
sorry. What the
everybody
fuck is wrong
else's
with you?
shit.
Why you
You
keep
got
saying
your
that?
own shit.
Stop doing that.
You got your own shit to deal with. And my mom told me something. I'll never forget this. She told me this when I was like 12 years old. She said, he said, real smart as fuck. But I wouldn't get smart with my mother. I would just mumble. Because my mom beat your ass like with iron course. She'll beat your ass. So I mumbled a lot. The mouth gonna beat you, Chuck, you better learn what to do with it. Which I did. I got into journalism. She said, since you're so smart, figure this out. It takes 6 months to mind your business and 6 months to leave everyone else's alone. How long is that? I said, it's a year. She said, yeah, now try that every year. Ooh, it takes 6 months to mind your business and 6 months to leave everybody else's alone. If you're doing that, you don't know what the fuck somebody else is doing. And I had to learn the importance of that. I had to learn it because I was literally giving too much of myself to too many ungrateful, unwilling to commit to anything people. I'm not her no more. That is the difference between the button pusher and K-Bay. I'm not the pin cushion no more. I'm not your dump bag. I'm not your fucking bucket. I'm not the crab in the bucket. I am on another vibration. I need to vibrate on high at all times. And if I don't, I need my friends to make sure that I do. My friend today made sure that I did. So, because there's only a few people that can do that. My mom, on a good day. Normally, I'm making her vibrate on her. My son, again, on a good day. My grandman always. My wife, and my friends. Today, music couldn't even make me feel better. My friend did. So thank you. And it wasn't that I was feeling bad. I was just in a weird place.
It was just a little cloudy.
Yeah.
A little cloudy.
And it was nothing that someone did wrong or tried and failed or nothing. It was just you. That today was your day to push me up on my vibration. So thank you. And I think that's what we have to get to. When we're allowing people into our life, into our intimate space, this is my intimate space, studio or not, my intimate space. Know your purpose. Know your power within that space. Sometimes we underuse it, and sometimes we over. People step out of the lane. Some people be in the lane and don't realize the power they have in it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when you're picking these people and allowing them in your lane, know what you're willing to give them. Know what you're willing to accept from them, and know your limit. Know that boundary, right? And that's one thing that I've prided myself on the last 5 years is communicating better with a better tone, listening more, making sure I fully understand my best ability what this person was thinking, so that I can be in her shoes, so I can say, okay, I see you, but that's not it, right? Before the whole buzz, what the fuck is wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, pew, 0 to 60 quick as hell, right? Now I'm not, that's the difference. Because I used to be like, I put the scenario fucking in front of you, get it. Well, everybody can get it like that, but put the scenario there and walk away. Because now I don't care if you get it or not. If you're not in my spirit, I don't care if you get it or not. Put the lesson out there, and I'm gonna go over here and do the shit that I was doing. You came for the lesson, there's a lesson. Either you're gonna learn or you're not gonna learn. But if you're in my spirit, then it's like, okay, listen, say this just like this, and you must receive it because you're in my spirit. I let you in. So if you're incapable of receiving what I'm saying to you, I made the wrong choice. You shouldn't be here. And I'll let you this close to me, right? So, it's just learning your own boundary, learning your own real talk, learning who should be where. Because sometimes we let too many people in places they should not have any interest to.
Setting your boundaries and being okay with it.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, you said all of
Unapologetically,
that
like,
in 3 words. Thank you, freaking scholar.
You
I'm saying you let me talk a whole half an hour, and you come up with three damn words to sum up everything that I just said.
But you know, I was listening. And not to respond.
Yeah, that part.
And not to respond, to understand. I heard you, I absorbed it, I digested it, and what I heard you say was it's about setting boundaries and being okay with that. And being straight okay with that. I live a life where my parents are allergic to boundaries.
Well, and that's when you
They refuse. I be like, why are y'all so allergic to boundaries? I said no. Why is that? You just like, no, I'm not doing it.
they're your parents.
I don't care. I should be.
Tell them shit.
If your son
Well,
comes
it's
to
the
you
same
and
way.
you say, Mom, with the exception of your wife, I don't like her. She makes me uncomfortable.
Even if you said it about my wife, you'd have to stay away from my son.
She makes me uncomfortable. I don't like her.
You'd have to stay away from us.
So you have sense. In my world.
Well, that's just really what I'm
There's
hearing
room
is
for compromise
people just
on
don't
that.
care.
Get over it.
Yeah, they just don't care. They don't care how you feel. And that sucks if that's your parents and they don't care how you feel. But your parents don't care. There's a weird situation, and I have the same thing like that. And there's certain things that my mom doesn't realize that she does. She just doesn't realize it, and it's like at this point in my life, I'm not even gonna tell you. No, I'm not. I'm gonna let you go ahead and have that. I can see now. I know how to defend myself. Sometimes you just have to build up your wall towards that level of uncomfortableness that your parents are going to put you in. You know they're not going to change. So how do you? What do you do to combat that?
At this point, it just is what it is. And so that's where I've reconciled it. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I've
They just are who they
accepted
are.
you for who you are,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
gonna love you there.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy?
But don't get mad at me when I'm not willing to jump and cartwheel as I once would.
And you
I'm
know what's so crazy?
way more
Our
comfortable
kids
with
are
no
doing that to
now
us
than
too.
I've ever been in my life.
Our kids are doing that to us too. They're like, that's just how my mom is. My son's, I know he's done like 8 times. This how she is. We all do it. That's just how she. That we all do it, right? We all have something that is undesirable to our children or our our mates, and it's that thing that we learn is compromise, tolerance, or dismiss. I'm gonna tolerate this behavior. I'm gonna compromise and try to do something to match where we can come, or I'm just going to dismiss it because you're not going anywhere. I'm not going to get rid of your parents. I'm not going to get
Not
rid
a chance
of
in
my
hell.
son.
And
You're
I'm
not
like,
going
they're
anywhere.
gonna call. I'm like, I'm on my way. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk shit the
whole
whole way.
time. Oh, my mom, you got that. All right, mom, on my way.
Oh
You
my
be driving up there like,
Come to me like
but
I
you're
did
gonna
then.
go. You're
Like I
gonna
could
go.
just see the look of disgust. I said, it's not disgust, Mom. It's just I really just want to be left alone. Like it's not even. It's not you. It's life. I just want to be left. Sometimes I just want to not be bothered.
Well,
Like I just don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't want to. I want you calling my name. I want you bringing my phone. I want you texting me. It's not a you thing. It's the world thing. You just happen to be here to see the eye roll and hear the deep breath.
You just caught the breath.
Yeah, you just happen to be able to have a front row seat. There's a whole class of people that down my number like, and I answered, hey, how's it going? All right, how
Hey,
you doing?
buddy.
Hey.
Yeah,